Alright, the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection has dropped on Steam. I had this game pre-ordered, and I typically tell people never pre-order games for a lot of reasons. Most of which you know already, like the game can change a lot between what we see in a trailer, even a gameplay trailer, and what the game ultimately is. So I always tell people to wait and see what the final game is before you get it. But in this case, they offered 20% off for people that own the old ones. I happen to own the old Battlefront 2 on Steam, so I took advantage of that 20% off this classic collection and pre-ordered it. It dropped this morning, so we're going to install it here. I was going to install it before this video, but I noticed an interesting license agreement here. So we'll take a quick look at this and start the video here. So this is Aspyr. Aspyr's been around for a long time. They did a lot of ports for other games, and this is what they're doing here again. We got a single non-exclusive, non-transferable, and limited personal license to use a service. Promise to provide accurate information. They may suspend or terminate my account should my conduct in their sole determination fail to conform to this agreement for any other reason. There's no expectation of privacy. No account transfers. Any communications or material of any kind that you email, post, or otherwise transmit to Aspyr or the public, or using the service, including messages, comments, photographs, chat, email, voice recordings, data, questions, feedback, or suggestions, are your content. Aspyr does not own your content. By posting content, you represent that you are the owner of the content. And give Aspyr permission to use, reuse, copy, adapt, abridge, amend, distribute, modify, translate, publish, perform, display, develop, reproduce, communicate to the public, make your content otherwise available in any form by any media. Alright, so if I post a video, they can use it in their ads and stuff just by default, which is interesting. I agree that I will not engage in conduct, including the sharing of content which is threatening, bullying, defamatory, abusive, obscene, lewd, sexually provocative, or suggestive, pornographic, or which any manner could give rise to any civil or criminal liability under applicable law. I mean, that's really covering your ass. Could be taken as slurs, hate speech, or attacks on individuals or groups on the basis of race, color, gender, age, religion, national origin, disability, sexual preferences, or gender identity. Constitutes spam. It's a solicitation or an advertisement for any lewd or inappropriate personal conduct, commercial product, or activity. So you can't put Battlefront content in porn ads. Encourages or constitutes behavior that does not support a safe and comfortable environment for all users, which conduct may include but not be limited to bullying, vigilantism, engaging in any conduct or activity that is threatening, harmful, harassing, abusive, vulgar, hateful, defamatory, same list? No, sexually provocative, suggestive, or explicit. Inflammatory, profane, racially or ethnically objectionable or discriminatory, or in any manner encourages inappropriate, disrespect, abusive, or unlawful conduct, or otherwise makes the service uncomfortable experience for anyone. Restricts, inhibits, or discourages any user. You can't restrict. I can't discourage any user from using the service. This is very tricky then to make a review video that cannot discourage people from using the service. Hacks, modifies, or otherwise makes any automation software, bots, or unauthorized third-party software designed to modify the service experience. No mods, if I'm reading that right, by license agreement. Violates any laws, infringes on any rights, imposes an unreasonable or disproportionately large load on the service, or otherwise interferes with the service. Covering their ass, but that's reasonable at least. Is a chain letter or junk mail. Specifies or claims that you're affiliated with Aspire when you are not, and including without limitation, an admin, mod, or an employee agent. Yeah. Requests login information, spoofs your identity, crack the service, contains or uploads any viruses, anything else that Aspire. I love it when they list a bunch of stuff and then anything else. Mods are user-created content that can be used to modify or enhance the gameplay experience for certain games or other software that make up the service. Your creation, use, and transfer of mods is subject to the conduct policy in 6.2 above. Mods must also comply with all applicable third-party terms of service and agreements. Let's remind ourselves what they said about mods in 6.2 conduct policy. Hacks, modifies, or otherwise makes use of automation software, bots. Okay, hacks, comma, modifies or otherwise makes use of automation software. Or, I assume there should be an Oxford comma there. No, maybe not. Hacks, comma, modifies or otherwise makes use of automation software, bots, or any other unauthorized third-party software designed to modify the service experience. Okay. So, you can't use or modify automation software or anything else designed to modify the service experience. Yeah, so no AFK bots. But this does not prohibit mods, per se. It just prohibits hacks. Blanket. What's the distinction between a hack and a mod? We'll fight that out in court. Would be interesting. But, all right, let's move on to what they're saying about mods. Aspire Media reserves the right to remove any mods which it deems to be in its sole discretion in violation of this agreement or any applicable law, or offensive, inappropriate, or otherwise objectionable. By submitting mods to Aspire Media, you grant Aspire Media a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free, fully paid, sub-licensable, and transferable license to use, reproduce, distribute, create derivative works of, publicly display, digitally perform, make, have made, sell, offer for sale, and import your mods, in whole or in part, for any purpose, or in any form, media or technology, now known, or hereafter developed, anywhere in the world, in perpetuity. Woo! Holy crap. Alright, what's happening here is they're really covering their ass. Alright, so, with the original Battlefield, there was a bit of some controversy with this new edition because they put in mods, community mods that were made for the original Battlefield, at least in some of their early builds and their trailers and stuff like that. And in theory, that's fine. You know, people made those mods to be enjoyed by everyone. Like, it's an honor to be included in the official release if it's done right. There's no other way to do it except doing it right now. Anything you make as a mod for this game, in short, they own, but they can use it, they can sell it, and that's not unreasonable in some senses. It's not how it's traditionally been looked at. If we look at the Valve model or something like that, you own the mods that you make for a Valve game, and if it's good, they'll probably buy it from you. But it's not their property to use by default. So this is interesting and different. Maybe it's a further discussion. Offhand, it actually doesn't seem unreasonable, given especially the events that led them to that. But let's keep going. Definitely a good place for discussion in the comments below if you got any thoughts on this. For some games that are part of the service, Aspyr Media uses mod.io to manage all mods for that game. In order to access or make available any mods, you must sign up for a mod.io account. Blah, blah, blah. Mod.io stuff. If you are a copyright owner or their agent and believe any content in a mod infringes on your copyrights, you may submit a report through mod.io or to our copyright agent at the copyright contact info. Okay, so this is also kind of interesting. We've got a long tradition of, dropping a Star Trek mod in a Star Wars game or dropping a Star Wars mod in a Star Trek game. That's not going to happen now on this platform. End of an era, maybe. Let's keep going. Virtual items, costumes, downloadable content, and other virtual tokens or currency may be offered for purchase. We will definitely be taking a look at that. What do you want to sell me in this game? Not that I have a problem with that outright, but I didn't see anything about that in the trailer. Customer support. Terms termination. This term of this agreement begins upon your download or first use of this service and will continue for as long as you have any copies of the service in your possession or access to the service as applicable. Well, I bought it on Steam, and Steam, being Steam, is granting me access to it forever. So I guess this license just goes in forever. Even if I uninstall the game and never use it again, I still have access to it on my Steam account. Unless I guess I could remove it from my Steam account to escape from this license agreement. Without prejudice to any other of its rights, Aspyr Media may unilaterally terminate or modify this agreement at any time for any reason with no notice to you. For example, Aspyr Media may terminate this agreement and your rights in connection with the service. Yeah, so just because you bought the game, this... especially in an era now of online games, they can take it away at any point, and this wasn't understood previously in the early era of gaming. You bought a game kind of expecting the online to be there, and now they're selling games without the online working in some cases. But with games as a service now, that's not even really an option. The game can just be taken down and not accessible for any reason at any time with no notice. Alright, for example, if Aspyr Media may terminate this agreement and your rights in connection with the service, if Aspyr Media, in its sole discretion, discontinues the service or any part of the service, stops supporting or maintaining the service, or any part of the service, ceases to provide updates, no longer offers the service for license, or believes you have failed to comply. Alright, what? Okay, yeah, if you violate the service, they can take it away from you with no notice. Yeah, so for example, they may terminate this agreement and your rights if you violated the terms. But that's for example. Why is there a for example clause in a license agreement? This is the important sentence. Without prejudice to any of its other rights, Aspyr Media may unilaterally terminate or modify this agreement at any time for any reason with no notice to you. Yeah, some useless sentence here, but this means they could just shut it down at any time. Which we kind of know already, but they're really starting to cover themselves in the license agreement now, so you can't sue them if they shut it down. They might email you if they shut it down, but they don't have to. Okay. Aspyr Media reserves the right to monitor use of the service to determine compliance with this agreement, as well as the right to edit, refuse to post, or remove any content, information, or materials in whole or in part at our sole discretion. We already defined content with a capital C there as any, including in this video, assuming I load into the game and hit accept, and assuming I download the game, actually. All right. So Aspyr Media reserves the right to monitor use of the service to determine compliance with this agreement, as well as the right to edit, refuse to post, or remove any content, information, or materials in whole or in part at our sole discretion, period. So they can take down any video you make of Battlefront because it's in Battlefront. We reserve the right to refuse access to the service to anyone for any reason at any time. You know, really, that's the whole EULA right there. Everything else is just being specific, but okay. Aspyr Media may monitor your content and other communications to evaluate the quality of service you agree, your compliance with the agreement, the security of the service, and for other reasons. You agree that such monitoring activities will not entitle you to any cause of action or other right with respect to the manner in which Aspyr Media or its affiliates or agents monitor your content and other communications, and enforces or fails to enforce the terms of the agreement. So you have no recourse at all if they monitor or fail to monitor my content or communications. In no event will Aspyr Media or any of its affiliates or agents be liable for any costs, damages, or expenses, or any other liabilities incurred by you as a result of monitoring activities by Aspyr Media or its affiliates or agents. All right, so if I talk about trade secrets in-game and then they do some inside trading based on that, and then I lose my job over that, I can't sue them. That's interesting. So be careful what you say on the game, because they can just monitor everything and you have absolutely no recourse. That's interesting. Aspyr Media may monitor your content and other communications to evaluate the quality of service, blah, blah, and other reasons. We're getting a little too vague in some of these cases here. I don't know if interesting is the right word anymore. Security of data transmission and storage. Electronic communications using the service may not always be encrypted. You acknowledge there's a risk that data, including email, electronic communications, and personal data, may be accessed by unauthorized third parties when communicated between you and Aspyr Media or between you and other parties. Additionally, your communications and content on the service may be publicly available to others. Aspyr Media and its affiliates and agents are permitted, but not obligated, to review or retain your content and other communications. But if I delete the game from my Steam account and escape from this license agreement, are they no longer permitted to retain my content and other communications? The service may contain links to other sites or software applications, including through display advertisements. Aspire Media does not control the linked services. You agree under no circumstances will you hold Aspire Media or its affiliates or agents liable for any loss or damage caused by use of or reliance on any content, goods, or services available on linked services. Trademarks and copyright. The service is owned by Aspire Media and is protected by United States and international copyright and other intellectual property laws and treaty provisions. Yeah, copyright. If you are a copyright owner or their agent and believe that any content on the service infringes on your copyrights, you may submit a DMCA notification in writing to our copyright agent with the following information. Yeah, so they can take down any of your content, and your mods can only be posted on the one site, and they can be taken down for copyright or any other reason. Disclaimer of warranties. Your use of the service is entirely at your own risk. Thank you. The service is provided by Aspire Media on an as-is basis. Aspire Media expressly disclaims all warranties of any kind, whether express or implied, including but not limited to the implied warranties of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose, and non-infringement. Wow. So, no matter what, if this breaks your computer or anything, that's on you. They make no claims that it even works. Because some states or jurisdictions do not allow the disclaimer of implied warranties, the foregoing disclaimer may not apply to you. Right, so if you got like Consumer Protection Act stuff in your state, this one might not apply to you. That's funny that they even acknowledge that. Limitation of liability. You expressly understand and agree that neither Aspire Media nor any third-party platform, Epic or Unity, is liable for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or exemplary damages, including damages for loss of profits, goodwill, use, data, or any other intangible losses, even if Aspire Media, the third-party platform, Epic, or Unity, has been advised of the possibility of such damages resulting from the use of service or inability to use the service or any other manner related to the service. Yeah, they're just further covering themselves here. They're not responsible for any problems you got. Indemnification. You agree to indemnify and hold Aspire Media and its affiliates and their respective directors, officers, agents, and their employees harmless from any claim, demand, loss, costs, expense, including attorney's fees made by any person or entity arising out of your violation of this agreement. This really vague agreement that says for any reason in a lot of cases. So they're not liable for anything no matter what. Aspire Media reserves the right to disclose any information, including personally identifiable information about you, as necessary to satisfy any applicable law, regulation, legal process, or government request. You may not use, access, or otherwise export or re-export the service except as authorized by United States laws and the laws of jurisdiction in which the service was obtained. In particular, without limitation, the service may not be exported, re-exported, or otherwise made available in any other region that's embargoed. Yeah, sorry, North Korea. You don't get to play Battlefront. The agreement and all future agreements you enter into with Aspire Media, which, remember, they can just change the license agreement at any time with no notice. So it's really interesting that any future agreements we enter, unless otherwise indicated on such other agreement, will be governed by the laws of the state of Texas. This is the case regardless of whether you reside or transact business with Aspire Media or any of its affiliates or agents in the state of Texas or elsewhere, unless the dispute would be governed in the terms of Section 24 below. You agree to submit to the personal and exclusive jurisdiction of the state and federal courts located within the city of Austin, Texas, United States. Okay. Any dispute or claim relating in any way to your use of the service will be resolved by binding arbitration rather than in court. So you can't sue them no matter what. You have to arbitrate and go through a third party. Except that you may assert claims in the small claims court only if your claims qualify. So you can sue them if you can sue them. Thanks. You agree that each claim must be brought individually. You and Aspire Media agree that there is no right or authority for any dispute to be arbitrated on a class action basis or to utilize class action procedures. Well, no collective... Well, you can't sue them at all, and you can't collectively arbitrate. There's no right or authority for any dispute to be brought in a purported representative capacity or as a private attorney general. And no arbitration may be joined with any other arbitration. So that's one of the most interesting license agreements, a very modern license agreement in some ways, but a very restrictive one. All right. Let's install .25 gig download, 68 gig install. Let's check out these achievements. All right, let's come back when this is done. All right, that finished installing finally. That was literally like an hour. Let's take a look at these game files. This was a 62 gigabyte install here. Got a gigabyte for an add-on, 2 gigabytes for an add-on, 24 gigabytes of data 1, and 33 gigabytes of data 2. Oh, probably for Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. So 7 gigs of movies, that's almost expected. And then I guess some launchers there. So our data's in here. It's all these .lvl files. I don't know offhand how the original was, but I'm sure it wasn't everything in this proprietary file type. You know, eventually there might be a community unpacker, but just huge everything. And all these same file types for everything, LVL files. All right, it's noon here. Let's start this up. If it sucks, then we might refund. Got 2 hours of playing. Can I play without registering? Battlefront. Take a look at this game. See how it is. Should also note on my rant about the license agreement, I'm not a lawyer or anything. I'm just a guy who reads stuff and says what I think. Accessibility options out front. Another license agreement. Is this the same one? Yeah. Okay, this is for single player then. Let's see. Split screen is kind of cool that they added that. Do we have LAN play? Seems so. Well, the point of a quick match is to put me in one that works. Alright, we're in. Cool. We got first person Can I change my view? Yeah, Q for changing view. Cool. And we won. Okay. Stack teams a bit. There was no auto balance on the teams. Oh yeah. I can run somebody over. Let's try this guy again. Oh, I guess we got wave based. Can I do first person here? No, it's only third person. Alright, we got a sniper guy, pilot guy, assault droid. Snap! We got to push back there. Let's go back to the super battle droid. This game.
Reinforcements have been cut off by the Republic.
Alright, in all fairness, this looks good. Right out of the box. It's playing well. A couple tedious mechanics from the age of the game more than this new release here. The remaster is pretty good. So we've got team lives, I think, at the top there. As well as these control points. This is our last control point here. I don't know if they can capture this last one.
Republic forces have lost the temple. Our reinforcements
Yeah, I think we're about to get wiped here.
We've lost the command post. Enemy forces have captured a command post.
That's it. We've lost. That plays pretty solid. Yeah. No complaints really about the game here. Except I'm at 4 and 10. Bantha fodder. Is it most deaths? I'm tied for most deaths. Yeah, most deaths. That's how you do that. Alright, we got Rebels versus Empire. Let's check out these Rebels. Oh, hell yeah.
We've captured a command post.
Wookiee smuggler. Oh, what? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, they got an AT-AT walker up there. Alright. I've lost my concerns about this game. This is good. Battlefield. Old school Battlefield. Battlefront, rather. Old school Battlefront. They got wrecked by that AT-AT. We're sticking with Wookiee here.
We've lost the command post. The Empire has cut off our reinforcements. Enemy forces have captured a command
Drop the beacon thing, bomb thing.
Our reinforcements have been cut off.
Try and go for that AT-AT. Oh, I did it. Let's see if it works. Did I drop it? I didn't see it explode.
Capture the command post.
Time bomb, it's called. Push back to our last point here.
Our reinforcements are taking casualties.
I guess I can't get a kill from the grave with that time bomb. I gotta be alive for it.
Capture the command post.
We're gonna get a time bomb kill here. Oh, that didn't throw. The TK.
Our forces have lost the temple. The Empire is completing our reinforcements. Imperial forces have captured the temple. We've captured a command post.
Oh, I should spawn forward. We'll go for this one over here. Can't shoot while you're jumping. Oh, gonna get him. Oh, still didn't get him with the bomb. Yep.
We've lost a command post. Our reinforcements are taking casualties.
Yeah, back to our last. I missed the respawn wave? Dang. Back to our last point again here.
Reinforcements are taking casualties.
Drop that. And not drop myself.
Defeat is imminent.
I really want a kill with that. lost again. Alright, no way to quit to the menu there. It just drops you into the next game, which is nice for keeping it going, but we'll go check out Battlefront 2 now real quick. Quit the launcher. Play Battlefront 2. So really pleasantly surprised by Battlefront 1. That was playing really nicely. That was fun. The quick match didn't work there. Probably getting flooded. Get a quick match here. Let's just join. Do we have Battlefront 2 available? Online. Can I create again? Auto assign. So I can play here with bots. Worst controls interface on the second one. This looks worse. We've got different controls by default even. Alt is roll. View is V. Chat is T. How are you gonna have different controls on your different games in the same collection? Alright, so it works. By myself. Okay, there we go, there we go. Alright, we got an auto assign feature here. Really needed in Battlefront 1. I gotta unlock some characters here. Bring it back the Battlefront EA remakes PTSD here. What did I have there? Imperial Engineer. Oh, he's like the pilot. Let's try something like that. Alright, we got oh, can't move and look at the scoreboard. This is such a trash interface. This is the remake too. Come on.
Control of a command post. Command post is under hostile control. Our reinforcements are thinning.
Oh, he's my dude. Let's see.
A command post is under Imperial control. We've lost control of a command post. A command post is under hostile control.
Let's see if there's some
Our
vehicles back here.
reinforcements are thinning.
I don't know if I got vehicles on this map. So I gotta key alt to roll and get stuck on stuff.
We're losing reinforcements. A command post for the Empire. Our reinforcements are thinning. A command post is under Imperial control.
On a little losing streak here, but that's alright. Alright, go 2 and 2. Is that collective stats as I play? Are we reloading? Okay. Let's try to join in another game here.
They're losing reinforcements. Defeat is unacceptable. Take it back.
Nothing but losses. That plays alright. Let's do one more here. Guess that's not cumulative. Is it not loading? Maybe it needs to wait, and it just doesn't show wait. Give it a minute here. Lost connection to host. So it's having trouble changing maps on the multiplayer right now. Hopefully that can get patched. Or the servers all crashed. Well, they refreshed when I went to the menu there, so servers are there. Space assault? Let's try that.
They've already lost. They just don't know it.
Cool. Shot myself there. That's probably not good. Cool.
General quarters, all hands. Man your battle stations.
Are we piling in? No, what happened there? We died? What is this game? Oh, we got trolls. Or is that an enemy ship there? That's an enemy ship parked here, I think, right? That's one of the Empire ships. Yeah, yeah, the Empire's coming right in here. That's what's happening. Oh, overheated my gun.
Our engines have been destroyed.
Oh man,
Our shields
inverted
have been
controls.
disabled.
Let's see what we can do real quick. Actually, crank my sensitivity up a bit on this. Maybe not that. Can I not invert my mouse for? Oh man, there's no invert mouse. All right. Oh, man.
Our life support systems have been destroyed.
Where'd the battle go? There we go. Alright, that's my ship, that's their ship.
Our bridge has been destroyed.
We're losing our ship.
Our frigate has been destroyed.
Can I go in here? Let's find out. Yeah.
They may have won this battle, but the rebellion's day will. Our communications relay has been destroyed.
Alright, another loss. Alright, so that's both games here. Gotta say, Battlefront 1 was a little more fun than the Battlefront 2. It just had a classic vibe there. I was pretty happy with that. Battlefront 2 is totally playable though, so this game is here. And it is as promised. So I think I'll wrap it up there. I'll jump back in here maybe and see if I can't find another game mode to end on.
Our reinforcements are taking casualties.
Snap.
Our reinforcements are taking casualties. Our reinforcements have been cut off.
Okay, they're right here.
We've lost the command post. Our reinforcements are being depleted. Enemy forces have captured a command post. Enemy forces have captured a command post. We've lost the command post. Return to battle or suffer the consequences.
You don't have a spawn point? What?
The Empire has called for reinforcements. Enemy forces have captured a command post.
So I can't spawn? Yep, we're gonna lose. And then it always drops me into the next map. But at least this one doesn't disconnect after every map like Battlefront 2 is. So hopefully they can fix that issue. That seems like a pretty big issue for them. Sounds like it was happening to everybody. Let's try this jet trooper real quick. And then I gotta wrap up this video or it's gonna be an hour long.
We've captured a command post. Their reinforcements have been cut off.
So yeah, I think Battlefront 1 is maybe the better game, at least right now. Oh yeah. Like a jetpack? Or can I just go? Yeah, runs out of jetpack.
Breathing chamber.
Oh, there's my jetpack up at the top right there. Can't go up higher?
We've captured the carbon
No,
breathing
just at that
chamber.
level.
We've captured a command post.
Oh, we're gonna cap their points. We're gonna win this one.
We've lost the carbon breathing chamber. Captured a command post. We've captured the carbon breathing
They got a point up there. How do we get up there?
Get down!
He's probably gonna be stuck underneath there. You just stand up with somebody in front of you.
They've lost the carbon breathing chamber. Captured the carbon breathing chamber.
Yep, there's our closeout victory there. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. That's the Battlefront Classic Collection. I think Battlefront 1's really solid. That's really fun. I'm happy with that. Battlefront 2, not quite working as well as it should right now. That's why we swept them so good. What happened there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so just no auto team balance in Battlefront 1. Battlefront 1 needs some team balance. And Battlefront 2 needs to be fixed. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that. That's the new collection. So post below if you got any questions or comments or anything like that. And that's it for this video.